Hi, welcome everyone. Once again, we're reading from the book of Genesis. Today, it'll take about 15 or 20 minutes. I'm going to be reading from the beginning of chapter 25, verse 19, and then moving all the way through chapter 28. This is the story of the sons of Isaac, and this is Jacob and Esau. Esau being the elder, and Jacob being the younger. But Jacob, of course, being the one who receives the blessing. So as I begin, we're going to start with the birth of Esau and Jacob, and then move through to the blessing that Jacob receives from his father. Chapter 25, verse 19. These are the descendants of Isaac, son of Abraham. Abraham begot Isaac. Isaac was 40 years old when he married Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel, the Aramean of Padan Aram, and the sister of Laban, the Aramean. Isaac entreated the Lord on behalf of his wife, since she was sterile. The Lord heard his entreaty, and his wife Rebekah became pregnant. But the children jostled each other in the womb so much that she exclaimed, "If it is like this, why go on living?" She went to consult the Lord, and the Lord answered her, "Two nations are in your womb. Two peoples are separating while still within you. But one will be stronger than the other, and the older will serve the younger." When the time of her delivery came, there were twins in her womb. The first to emerge was reddish, and his whole body was like a hairy mantle. So they named him Esau. Next his brother came out, gripping Esau's heel. So he was named Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when they were born. When the boys grew up, Esau became a skillful hunter, a man of the open country, whereas Jacob was a simple man who stayed among the tents. Isaac preferred Esau because he was fond of game, but Rebekah preferred Jacob. Once when Jacob was cooking a stew, Esau came in from the open country famished. He said to Jacob, "Let me gulp down some of that red stuff. I am famished." That is why he was called Edom. But Jacob replied, "First, sell me your right as firstborn." "Look," said Esau, "I am on the point of dying. What goes the right as firstborn to me?" But Jacob said, "Swear to me first." So he sold Jacob his right as firstborn under oath. Jacob then gave some bread and the lentil stew, and Esau ate, drank, got up, and went his way. So Esau treated this right as firstborn with disdain. There was famine in the land, distinct from the earlier one that had occurred in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went down to Abimelech, king of the Philistines, in Gerar. The Lord said to him and said, "Do not go down to Egypt, but camp in this land wherever I tell you. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with you and bless you. For to you and your descendants I will give all these lands in fulfillment of the oath I swore to your father Abraham. I will make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky, and I will give them all these lands, and in your descendants all the nations of the earth will find blessing. This because Abraham obeyed me, keeping my mandate, my commandments, my ordinances, and my instructions." So Isaac settled in the land of Gerar. When the men of the place asked questions about his wife, he answered, "She is my sister." He was afraid that if he called her his wife, the men of the place would kill him on account of Rebekah, since she was beautiful. But when they had been there for a long time, Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked out of a window and saw Isaac fondling his wife Rebekah. He called for Isaac and said, "She must certainly be your wife. How could you have said she is my sister?" Isaac replied, "I thought I might lose my life on account of her." "How could you have done this to us?" exclaimed Abimelech. "It would have taken very little for one of the people to lie with your wife, and so you would have brought guilt upon us." Abimelech then commanded all the people, "Anyone who maltreats this man or his wife shall be put to death." Isaac sowed a crop in the region and reaped 100-fold the same year. Since the Lord blessed him, he became richer and richer all the time until he was very wealthy. He acquired flocks and herds and a great workforce, and so the Philistines became envious of him. The Philistines had stopped up and filled with dirt all the wells that his father's servants had dug back in the days of his father Abraham. So Abimelech said to Isaac, "Go away from us. You have become far too numerous for us." Isaac left there and camped in the Wadi Gerar, where he stayed. Isaac reopened the wells which his father's servants had dug back in the days of his father Abraham, in which the Philistines had stopped up after Abraham's death. He gave them names like those that his father had given them. But when Isaac's servants dug in the wadi and reached spring water in their well, the shepherds of Gerar argued with Isaac's shepherds, saying, "The water belongs to us." So he named the well Esek, because they had quarreled there. Then they dug out another well and they argued over that one too. So he named it Sitnah. So he moved on from there and dug still another well, but over this one they did not quarrel. He named it Rehoboth and said, "Because the Lord has now given us ample room, we shall flourish in the land." From there Isaac went up to Beersheba. The same night the Lord appeared to him and said, "I am the God of Abraham, your father. Do not fear, for I am with you. I will bless you and multiply your descendants for the sake of Abraham my servant." So Isaac built an altar there and invoked the Lord by name. After he had pitched his tent there, Isaac's servants began to dig a well nearby. Then Abimelech came to him from Gerar with Ahuzath his counselor and Phicol the general of his army. Isaac asked them, "Why have you come to me, since you hate me and have driven me away from you?" They answered, "We clearly see that the Lord has been with you, so we thought, let there be a sworn agreement between our two sides, between you and us. Let us make a covenant with you. You shall do no harm to us, just as we have not maltreated you, but have always acted kindly toward you and have let you depart in peace. So now may you be blessed by the Lord." Isaac then made a feast for them, and they ate and drank. Early the next morning they exchanged oaths. Then Isaac sent them on their way, and they departed from him in peace. That same day Isaac's servants came and informed him about the well they had been digging. They told him, "We have reached water." He called it Sheba, since the name of the city is Beersheba. To this day, when Esau was 40 years old, he married Judith, daughter of Beri the Hittite, and Basemath, daughter of Elon the Hivite. But they became a source of bitterness to Isaac and Rebekah. When Isaac was so old that his eyesight had failed him, he called his older son Esau and said to him, "My son." "Here I am," he replied. Isaac then said, "Now I have grown old, and I do not know when I might die. So now take your hunting gear, your quiver and bow, and go out into the open country to hunt some game for me. Then prepare for me a dish in the way I like, and bring it to me to eat, so that I may bless you before I die." Rebekah had been listening while Isaac was speaking to his son Esau. So when Esau went out into the open country to hunt game for his father, Rebekah said to her son Jacob, "Listen, I heard your father tell your brother Esau, bring me some game, and prepare a dish for me to eat, that I may bless you with the Lord's approval before I die. Now, my son, obey me in what I am about to order you. Go to the flock and get me 2 choice young goats, so that I might prepare a dish for your father in the way he likes. Then bring it to your father to eat, that he may bless you before he dies." But Jacob said to his mother Rebekah, "But my brother Esau is a hairy man, and I am smooth-skinned. Suppose my father feels me. He will think I am making fun of him, and I will bring on myself a curse instead of a blessing." His mother, however, replied, "Let any curse against you, my son, fall on me. Just obey me. Go and get me the young goats." So Jacob went and got them and brought them to his mother, and she prepared a dish in the way his father liked. Rebekah then took the best clothes of her older son Esau that she had in the house, and gave them to her younger son Jacob to wear. And with the goatskins she covered up his hands and the hairless part of his neck. Then she gave her son Jacob the dish and the bread she had prepared. Going to his father, Jacob said, "Father." "Yes," replied Isaac. "Which of my sons are you?" Jacob answered his father, "I am Esau, your firstborn. I did as you told me. Please sit up and eat some of my game, so that you may bless me." But Isaac said to his son, "How did you get it so quickly, my son?" He answered, "The Lord your God directed me." Isaac then said to Jacob, "Come closer, my son, that I may feel you, to learn whether you are really my son Esau or not." So Jacob moved up closer to his father. When Isaac felt him, he said, "Although the voice is Jacob's, the hands are Esau's." He failed to identify him because his hands were hairy like those of his brother Esau. So he blessed him. Again Isaac said, "Are you really my son Esau?" And Jacob said, "I am." Then Isaac said, "Serve me, my son, and let me eat of the game, so that I may bless you." Jacob served it to him, and Isaac ate, and he brought him wine, and he drank. Finally his father Isaac said to him, "Come closer, my son, and kiss me." As Jacob went up to kiss him, Isaac smelled the fragrance of his clothing. With that he blessed him, saying, "Ah, the fragrance of my son is like the fragrance of a field that the Lord has blessed. May God give to you of the dew of the heavens and of the fertility of the earth abundance of grain and wine. May peoples serve you and nations bow down to you. Be master of your brothers, and may your brothers' sons bow down to you. Cursed be those who curse you, and blessed be those who bless you." Jacob had scarcely left his father after Isaac had finished blessing him, when his brother Esau came back from his hunt. Then he too prepared a dish, and bringing it to his father said, "Let my father sit up and eat some of his son's game, that you may give me your blessing." His father Isaac asked him, "Who are you?" He said, "I am your son, your firstborn, Esau." Isaac trembled greatly. "Who was it then," he asked, "that hunted game and brought it to me? I ate it all just before you came, and I blessed him. Now he is blessed." As he heard his father's words, Esau burst into loud, bitter sobbing and said, "Father, bless me too." When Isaac said, "Your brother came here by a ruse and carried off your blessing," Esau exclaimed, "He is well named Jacob, is he not? He has supplanted me twice. Jacob first took away my right, his firstborn, and now he has taken away my blessing." Then he said, "Have you not saved a blessing for me?" Isaac replied to Esau, "I have already appointed him your master, and I have assigned to him all his kindred as his servants. Besides, I have sustained him with grain and wine. What then can I do for you, my son?" But Esau said to his father, "Have you only one blessing, father? Bless me too, father." And Esau wept aloud. His father Isaac said in response, "See, far from the fertile earth will be your dwelling, far from the dew of heavens above. By your sword you will live, and your brother you will serve. But when you become restless, you will throw off his yoke and from your neck." Esau bore a grudge against Jacob because of the blessing his father had given him. Esau said to himself, "Let the time of mourning for my father come, so that I may kill my brother Jacob." When Rebekah got news of what her older son Esau had in mind, she summoned her younger son Jacob and said to him, "Listen, your brother Esau intends to get his revenge by killing you. So now, my son, obey me. Flee at once to my brother Laban in Haran, and stay with him a while until your brother's fury subsides, until your brother's anger against you subsides and he forgets what you did to him. Then I will send for you and bring you back. Why should I lose both of you in a single day?" Rebekah said to Isaac, "I am disgusted with life because of the Hittite women. If Jacob also should marry a Hittite woman, a native of the land like these women, why should I live?" Isaac therefore summoned Jacob and blessed him, charging him, "You shall not marry a Canaanite woman. Go now to Padan Aram, to the home of your mother's father Bethuel, and there choose a wife for yourself from among the daughters of Laban, your mother's brother. May God your Almighty bless you and make you fertile, multiply you, that you may become an assembly of peoples. May God extend to you and your descendants the blessing of Abraham, so that you may gain possession of the land where you are residing, which he assigned to Abraham. Then Isaac sent Jacob on his way. He went to Padan Aram, to Laban, son of Bethuel the Aramean, and brother of Rebekah, the mother of Jacob and Esau. Esau noted that Isaac had blessed Jacob when he sent him to Padan Aram to get himself a wife, and that as he gave him his blessing, he charged him, "You shall not marry a Canaanite woman," and that Jacob had obeyed his father and mother and gone to Padan Aram. Esau realized how displeasing the Canaanite women were to his father. So Esau went to Ishmael, and in addition to the wives he had, married Mahalath, daughter of Abraham's son Ishmael and sister of Nebaioth. Jacob departed from Beersheba and proceeded toward Haran. When he came upon a certain place, he stopped there for the night, since the sun had already set. Taking one of the stones of the place, he put it under his head and lay down in that place. Then he had a dream. A stairway rested on the ground, and with its top reaching to the heavens, and God's angels were going up and down on it. Then was the Lord standing beside him and saying, "I am the Lord, the God of Abraham, your father, and the God of Isaac. The land in which you are lying I will give to you and your descendants. Your descendants will be like the dust of the earth, and through them you will spread to the west and the east, to the north and the south. In you and in your descendants and all the families of the earth will find blessing. As I am with you and will protect you wherever you go, you will bring you back to this land. I will never leave you until I have done what I have promised you." When Jacob awoke from his sleep, he said, "Truly the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it." He was afraid and said, "How awesome is this place! This is nothing else but the house of God, the gateway to heaven." Early the next morning, Jacob took the stone that he had put under his head, set it up as a sacred pillar, and poured oil on top of it. He named that place Bethel, whereas the former name of the town had been Luz. Jacob then made this vow, "If God will be with me and protect me on this journey I am making, and give me food to eat and clothes to wear, and I come back safely to my father's house, the Lord will be my God. This stone that I have set up as a sacred pillar will be the house of God. Of everything you give me, I will return a 10th part to you without fail." Thank you very much for being part of today's reading. In 2 days more, we'll be reading further on, starting with chapter 29. Bye.